If it's French and if it takes your fancy, then haggle, haggle, haggle. That's the best way to pick up a bargain, and that's what our two teams will be doing today as they pick the best of the crop at an antiques market in the beautiful French Alps. Welcome to Grenoble, the capital of the French Alps. One of its famous sons, the 19th century writer Stendhal, described it as a city with a mountain at the end of every street, which is absolutely right. This glorious alpine background is the setting for our bargain spotting today. Although Grenoble is surrounded by mountains, the city itself is in a valley, centred around the two rivers flowing through it, the Drac and the Isère. Grenoble was the home of the Dauphin counts until the 14th century, when it was sold to the King of France. And we certainly want to make a royal profit today on our antiques. I have £350 worth of euros for each team. They have one day to spend the lot and one day to sell everything back in the UK to the bargain-hungry Brits. And whoever makes the most money at the end of the day will be the winner. So get ready for the Battle of the Bargains. Our first contestant today is Tara. She's a design technology teacher from East London and has a bit of an antiques background herself.
I know what I'm going to be looking for because I used to work cataloguing in a museum and I'm a design technology teacher, so I think I have an eye for a bit of style and I love a bargain.
Helping Tara sort the gems from the junk today is resident expert Jonty Herndon. That's our first team, but will they come out as number one when it comes to making a profit? Taking on Tara in the antique hunting game today is her friend and colleague Charlotte. Charlotte loves everything kitsch and colourful and is ready for a bit of competition.
I think I'm going to give Tara a real run for her money. She's been talking about it in school and she really, really, really thinks she's going to win. So I'm kind of really hoping that I will beat her.
Helping Charlotte sort the wheat from the chaff at today's market is antiques dealer Mark Franks. He drives a hard bargain and won't let Charlotte get distracted from the task in hand, making some serious money. Morning, bargain spotters!
Morning, Chris!
Tara, is this too early in the morning for you?
No, not at all.
Good to hear it. What are you going to be looking for?
I'm going to be looking for rustic French style, traditional. I'd quite like mirrors and ceramics, linens perhaps if I can get hold of some.
Yeah?
Anything that kind of says French.
Well, that's nearly everything here then, isn't it? Jonty, that's an easy call, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've just arrived and I have a sense that there's quite sort of car booty in feel, so we're just going to be looking for anything that's going to be a bargain today, and I'm sure there'll be loads here.
I think you're very right. And Charlotte, good morning.
Good morning.
What are you going to be looking for?
Well, Tara's a little bit classier than me.
Oh.
I'd like to go for something a little bit cheaper. So I'm looking for big bargains, but also 1950s stuff. I kind of collect 1950s furniture, and also unusual objects that you wouldn't know necessarily what they were at first.
I see. Mark, that's going to test your knowledge.
Well, I like the car booty style of French market. It's more up my street. There's a lot of cheap things at these sort of places, so there's huge profits to be had.
You're going to be spending out then, teams, aren't you?
You bet.
But before you do that, whatever you look at, just think to yourselves, is it collectible or rejectable? Tara,
Thank you.
There's £350 worth of euros for you. Charlotte, the same for you.
Thank you.
Experts, your books. You look fit to me, so belt up, it's time to buy. Today's market is situated just outside Grenoble in the picturesque alpine village of Sassenage. The market, which winds along the river, takes place on the first and last Sunday of every month. It's well known in the region with dealers and browsers alike, making it an absolute appointment to shop for the antiques collector. Both teams have £350 worth of euros to buy at least 10 items at today's market. The team who sells their French finds for the biggest profit back in the UK will be declared the winner. So let's find out how they're getting on.
Do you know what this is for?
No, I don't.
This is put your baguettes in.
It's not, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, so it's a baguette holder.
It's a very, very large bread bin then.
But yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah. Totally useless.
So Tara and Jonty are binning that one. But how are Charlotte and Mark getting on with their search for 50s retro?
1950s.
Uh-huh.
Arty, glass, nice. Can't feel any damage on it. Bit chippy around the bottom, but doesn't matter. Some nice wear.
It's not quite my taste, but I can see somebody would like it.
1950s, we call them wave glasses. Quite often they would have gold on
Yeah,
this, and
right.
it would have like a long end and a big wave. We call them wave glasses. Fruit bowl, perfect.
Is it collectible or ejectable? Charlotte's not sure yet. It looks like both teams are picking out the retro finds.
It's very 60s.
Yeah.
And that's quite in at the moment.
What kind of finish is that? What kind of glaze?
You've got enamel glazing on here. That's, you see the red here? That's enamel that they actually drop onto the terracotta, which is like the first firing. So
Yeah.
something like this, like many other pieces of porcelain, have two levels of firing. The first one is just is the premiere, is the first firing, and
Yeah.
then you put the glaze on top. And they've literally just splashed.
Throwing it on, so each
glazing
one's
on there.
completely unique then, and there's no one to say.
Exactly. So it's all hand done.
I think,
And now
although
that's-
it's slightly distasteful, I kind of quite like it.
Well, kitsch is cool. Kitsch is cool, and I find that could be a kitsch
Yeah.
fruit bowl. I just wonder how much it is.
Not my taste, but probably somebody else's.
It may not be Tara's taste, but it's a tasty price at £13. Charlotte and Mark are getting keen on kitsch and have picked out an uncannily similar item.
That bowl,
Yeah.
it looks like the West German pottery, but it's not.
So, how old do you think it is?
It looks like it could be sort of 50s, 60s.
So quite
And
like
Le
that.
Prix? It's £2. I think it's so cheap that we just cannot not buy it. Well, it's not my cup of tea. I don't know if we're going to make a profit, but for £2,
You never
it's
know,
got to
someone
be
might
bought.
like it.
Got to be bought.
It's not to Mark's taste either, but at just £2, it's a better bargain than Jonty's £13 bowl. Meanwhile, Tara's found the textiles she was hoping for, some luscious French linen.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's beautiful, actually.
That's lovely. And what is it? Is it a tablecloth?
Looks like a tablecloth, yeah.
Can you make a profit?
So I think I could, because I think this kind of style that people want to go for. It's not too busy. It's got a lot of beautiful detail in it. I love this. This is exquisite.
I mean, who say things that are old are expensive?
Yeah.
That's about £13.
I know.
That's all hand done. It's
And the
in-
craftsmanship or
Yeah.
craftswomanship, whoever
yeah,
did it.
Yeah.
That's crochet, isn't it?
That's
And
right.
It's got a crochet inlay, and it looks like it's got embroidery on
Yeah.
top. The amount of time that it must have taken
I know.
to make
Literally
this.
weeks to make something.
And
like
all
this.
the edging is so perfect,
Yeah.
isn't it? I think it's these simple details that give it
Yeah. Well,
that
look at
extra
all.
something.
Tara's in her element here. These pristine linens are exactly what she was looking for. But at £13, will the price be perfect? On the other side of the market, Charlotte's picking flowers.
I quite like the floral one.
It's quite twee, you surprised me.
Is that? Can you tell whether it's hand painted or whether it's just
Yeah,
printed?
I'd say it's transfer printed.
Right. Okay. How old do you think it is?
1940s.
1940s.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem with China in buying it in France is whenever you take to an antiques fair in the UK, the first thing the person will do, pick it up, spin it over. They're always looking for the mark and the
Okay.
back stamp. That will determine, they can tell a lot by that. And if this is made in France, unless that is striking enough to sell it on its own,
Right.
you won't sell it. And this
Isn't.
isn't. Stop
Okay.
looking at China. I think we'll give that a swerve.
Tara and Jonty are still loving their linens, but do they love them enough to part with some cash?
Well, these are beautiful as
Those
well.
are fun. Little hand napkins for afternoon tea. And it's very, very fine linen. You can almost look. Can you see that? It's almost see-through.
I've actually got a different pattern here as well, so
Yes,
I've got
they're
two
all slightly
contrasting
different.
patterns.
Now, how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. The lady is asking for €5, so that's £3 for the whole lot. You can't go wrong.
No, absolutely.
That looks quite interesting. I don't know what it is though.
It's
You
a
got
foot
any idea?
warmer, yes. You see, this is made of wood, and you'd open the top, put hot coals from the fire in there, clamp it down closed, carry it,
No way.
yeah. And
So you just sit at a chair and then put your
put your
feet.
feet on it, keep your feet warm.
Brilliant. And how old do you think that is?
Well, looking at the sort of rust and the general, the way the paint's come off and the wear on the timber there, I'd say it's about 1900, 1910.
So, and do you think kind of unusual objects, will people pick up on kind of what it is, or?
I mean, it's fun. This is what I call a coffee table item. It's the sort of thing someone's going to buy, put it on their coffee table, so when their friends come around, they can go, what's that? And it's a great story. It's a good laugh. It's good fun. And it's worth 15, 20 quid in the UK.
And how many people's feet do you think's been on that?
It smells like hundreds. It's half of that to say someone spilt cheese on it. It's sweet. I like it. All
right. Should we ask her how much it is?
Yeah. I mean, if we can get it for less than 15, 20 quid, there's a profit here.
All right, brilliant. Let's have a go.
What else have we got down here?
So we've got down here, got a pair of lace gloves.
Oh, yeah, those rather. I'm not sure about
Try
those.
those ones on.
Very Michael Jackson.
This is in the days where people wore gloves and hats.
Yeah.
And dressed properly.
Well, what about a pair of French cami knickers? Look at that.
You can't come to France without a pair of knickers from France, can you? Look at that. Oh, I have to have them. They seem like something from the war, don't they?
Yeah.
What kind of material's that?
Not sure what that is.
Feels like some kind of crepe, actually, or
Yeah,
silk.
it's crepe silk, I suppose, yeah.
Definitely. You've got people looking at you while they're holding up a pair of women's knickers. You'll be careful.
I don't think it'll suit me, though, would they?
Suits you, Jonty. They've sewn up that sale at £26, including the tablecloth, 2 sets of napkins, the gloves, and Jonty's favourite, those cami knickers.
So we just hope we've got the buyers at the other end.
Yeah. Well, let's hope
fingers.
there's lots of francophiles who desperately want to turn their houses into French gîtes in London.
Talking of francophiles, I wonder how Mark Franks is getting on.
Le dernier prix.
Dernier prix.
Oui.
12 euros.
12 euros. 8 quid. Give her the money, honey.
So Mark's keeping Charlotte on her toes, and that's a great buy at a foot-warming £8. Grenoble is the capital of the French Alps, and for half the year is a centre for skiing and winter sports, but it's also a haven for antiques shopping. So get off the slopes and down to the markets for a good rummage. If you want to follow in our footsteps to Sassenage Market, or simply browse the antique shops of Grenoble, you can get here on the fast train from Paris or fly into nearby Lyon, an hour away by road or rail. The most recognisable sight in Grenoble today is what the locals affectionately call le boule. Now, I'm not talking about the famous French game, but boule is what the Grenoble people call the cable cars, which start in the middle of town, go over the river Isère and right to the top of the hill. And once you get to the top, not only do you get fantastic views all over Grenoble from 800 feet up, you're also standing on walls which have seen considerable history. Atop the hill stands the formidable Fort de la Bastille, which was first fortified in the Middle Ages and has overlooked Grenoble ever since. Back at Sassenage Market, Charlotte and Mark have found some shabby chateau chic.
So what would this have been used for originally?
Well, the French quite often have bedroom suites.
Right.
But they would have one bedside. They wouldn't necessarily have a pair. So that's why it's more difficult to find matching pairs. They would buy the bed, you'd get a cabinet like this, and you'd put your potty or pissoir or gazanda, or there's many different names for it. Basically, rather than getting up in the middle of the night and have a wee, you'd put it in the cupboard.
Right.
Your potty would go in there, and in the morning you'd go and empty it.
And then, I mean, the reason why this is marble on top, because you kind of associate marble with cooking and stuff like that, is it for cleanliness as well, so that it's not...
Well, I'd say marble really, on the continent in general, is much cheaper.
Right.
Because we're not a million miles away from Italy. It's dear in the UK.
Okay.
So marble is used quite widely across France, and it's very, very desirable. Quite often it'll have a big crack or piece missing. This has just got natural sort of cracks running through it, which is absolutely fine. It's got a lovely marble sort of grain running through it. It's a very nice colour. But it's quite nice. It's probably dates from about 1900, 1920, somewhere between there. It's quite difficult to date.
OK, and how much do you reckon it's going to cost us?
Well, in the UK, I would expect to get 50, 60, perhaps even 80 quid for it, if we're lucky. If we can buy it less than 50 quid, I think it's where I want to go.
That cabinet could be a corker, but will Jonty persuade Tara to take a gamble on these?
You don't like them?
No, I don't. I think also the wood's a bit battered as well.
Yeah,
It'd be
that's the
nice if you
problem.
could rub them back.
It's all a bit sort of chipped and broken now. I think it's a possibility because, again, in the market like this, you're just looking for a bit of novelty.
Yeah, it's a nice close grain. Possibly that might be beech.
Well,
Give
they
it a
are
revarnish.
sort of restorable. So if you sold them to a dealer, DC euro, sort of 10 euros, that's £7.
I could probably unlock them at work and sand them down myself, actually.
Do a bit of restoration.
Yeah, it wouldn't take very long to do.
Yeah. I actually
Restain them.
I think for £7 they're all right now.
Yeah, why not? Let's get them.
So Tara's come round to the dice bookends for £7. But what's Charlotte's game?
I've also spotted the table football in the distance. No, seriously.
You're joking.
I love it. I think it's really good. I reckon some
They do sell.
boy may like it. It's quite bright coloured as well.
I think some girl may like it. Yeah?
It's not for me, obviously, but I
No.
really like it. So if we could get that in on that as well,
What are you saying? A good price for the pair?
good price for the pair.
Well, there's a little thing I've been told, and I don't know how true it is, but if you ask for a present, sometimes they give it. So I think you better use your lady charms with the fella and see if we can get a bit of a deal going here.
All right, well, we'll try.
Personally, on your tet be it, on your head be it.
Well, if it's free, we've only got to sell it for £1. We're still in profit.
I like your way of thinking.
Trying to get a freebie chucked in? I like your style, Mark. So let's compare and contrast our experts' bargaining styles. Jonty doesn't want to shell out too much on this, so what's his approach?
Load of old tab.
Je le fais 5 euros.
5.
Yes.
€5. Toi?
Non, 4.
Toi.
Non, 4, monsieur, c'est vraiment pas cher, je vous
Toi.
assure. Non, je vous
You're a
assure.
hard man.
Ciseaux,
Toi.
caillou, papier,
Toi,
vous connaissez?
toi.
Interesting tactic, Jonty. Let's see that again.
You're a hard man.
Ciseaux, caillou, papier, vous connaissez?
Toi.
That's it, Jonty. Don't let him get a word in edgeways. Say the price over and over again, and you might just get your own way. But Mark's going for the dernier prix, or lowest price approach.
Je voudrais le dernier prix pour ça?
80 euros.
80 euros. Wow.
80 euros, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
Take the vendor's price, 80, halve it, and offer again.
What about something like 40?
40, s'il vous plaît?
60.
60. Split the difference and offer 50.
50 in the middle.
OK.
Okay.
Deal done. But what about the freebie?
Petit cadeau from Amelie?
Yes.
Yes? Hey. Bon fed. Good man.
Merci.
That's the way to haggle, Mark. A bedside table for £33 and the table football thrown in for free.
£3.50.
Jonty's still flexing his bargaining muscles, though, and haggling over €1/2.
4. Give the man 4.
Ah,
He's a hard man.
Thank you very much.
Tara steps in to strike the final bargain at €4. Jonty saved himself €1, but every euro counts. That lucky euro could buy him a bargain later. But our teams aren't the only ones who've been looking around the market. I've seen some fantastic items myself. Both our experts are very experienced bargain spotters, so I hope they'll spot this here today. What is it? Well, it's a towel rail. It's in wood, basswood, possibly pine or ash, and it's been painted. Over the years, if we look carefully here, we can see years and years of paint on this, going right back to the 1930s when it was originally made. Today, this painted look is so fashionable. People actually buy things in the raw and paint it white. Or alternatively, whoever buys it could strip it back to the original colour of the wood and just varnish it. But wait for this. There are 2 of them, a pair, which immediately adds a premium. Pairs of anything is what we really, really look for. At £17.50 here today, I can see an instant 100% markup back home at any market. So I hope our pair of experts might find this pair here. Well, I hope Charlotte and Mark are spending their cash wisely because time's ticking on.
Wow, look at that. That's what we'd call in England a long case clock, or what people call grandfather clock, but it's a French variation of.
It's not complete, though, is it? I mean...
I don't know. I'll ask the lady, but it's like a kit form. It's flat pack.
Oh, right. It's a flat...
So this is the side.
Right.
That's where the face would be.
Right.
This is the front where the movement would swing with the pendulum.
Yeah.
And that would, I would imagine, that's below that. So that's bottom, middle, top, side, and the pelmet. So it's like a kit form.
Right, OK, brilliant. who'd want to buy it? I mean, do you think that's going
Somebody
to
likes
sell?
jigsaw puzzles, obviously.
Over on the other side of the market, some fruity plates are puzzling Tara and Jonty.
There's a lot of this around in France, but originally this kind of moulded pattern came out in England around, I think it was around 1850. A company called Minton's brought out his new Majolica ware, and it was these fantastic moulded patterns that the Victorians absolutely adored, and obviously the same kind of patterns came over to France as well.
How would you spot that this is Majolica ware then?
Well, it's this kind of raised moulded pattern. That's really what was introduced. The really big players in the 19th century were Thomas Minton, Wedgwood, and George Jones, particularly. They were the big factories, and you get a lot of this repeated and copied here in France. Now, these sorts of plates here are no more than 30, 50 years old.
Right.
So in France, this kind of style never really went out of fashion.
Right.
Interestingly, in the UK, when the Victorian era came to an end, Majolica ware became really unfashionable.
Yeah, you don't often see these.
Well, now,
Yeah.
in the UK, Majolica ware is exceedingly popular.
So possibly it might be a good idea to buy these and take them back.
For £13, it certainly is a good idea. It looks likely that Mark and Charlotte will go for the long case clock, but now they've spotted something else on the same stall.
It's a bit shabby chateau, which I like.
Yeah.
It's got all the original varnish coming off. It's faux bamboo, it's fake bamboo. It's just some sort of base timber which has been deliberately carved to make it look like bamboo. If you put a mirror in there, you know, it's lovely. But
And what
you've been
period?
framed.
And what period? I mean, that looks like that looks 50s and that
It's
era.
probably slightly earlier, probably 40s. But
Right,
they,
okay, 40s.
they did
Oh, sorry,
make these
right.
from the turn of the century, and they're
Right,
still
okay.
making this style today because it's very popular.
Okay.
Condition is everything, but when you're doing the shabby chateau look as we are, you can afford for it to be a bit shabby chateau.
Right. And what about this? Because back on the enamel thing, I like this bright blue colour.
Good colour. Bit of a chip there.
damaged,
I can
but-
live with that.
Yeah.
But
I just
good
think it'd be
colour.
nice in people's gardens, or you know, even on
Conservatory.
sorry, or even on.
Pampas plants.
Yep. Lovely. Lovely.
Right, let's get a price.
Right.
I've got a feeling this clock might be very expensive.
Right. Okay.
We'll try. Madame? Start
Bonjour.
off by being very nice. I like that.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Could you tell me, je voudrais le dernier bon prix pour ça, ça and ça.
On dit 45 45 euros.
45.
That's about 30 quid. Vendu. It's not even worth arguing.
Okay,
That's the
merci.
price.
No hanging round there. Mark knows a bargain when he sees one, and at £30 for all 3 items, there's got to be a profit in that. Let's hope it continues to go like clockwork while I slip away to have a look at some mechanical collectibles. Grenoble today is known as the Silicon Valley of France, but don't for a second think that technology isn't relevant to antiques. Early examples of technological innovation are very rare and very collectible. And that's why we're here, to meet a keen collector of automata who set up a small museum here to honour the life of an early 18th century inventor from Grenoble. Jacques de Vaucanson was one of the fathers of automata. As far back as the 18th century, he was making self-operating mechanical devices which were the forerunners of the modern robot. This mechanical duck is a precise replica of Vaucanson's most famous invention and the world's most famous automaton. Amazingly, he created the original in 1738, over 250 years ago. Vaucanson's duck was a huge hit with the public, and there is still a lucrative market for automata today amongst specialist collectors. So if you see any antique robots for sale, there could be a serious profit to be made. So, the lesson here is, don't always assume that it's only decorative things that make the big bucks. Fine furniture, pretty vases, all very well, but it's often the mechanical items that will make you the big money. talking of which, I think it's time I got back to our markets and see how the teams are getting on.
If you want more information on this or any of the other fascinating places we visit in this series, then log on to bbc.co.uk/lifestyle.
Tower house, 1940s, very nice. Had a coat of paint or two. €15. There's another one up there, look. That's a good buy. Again, that's that sort of faux bamboo look. Little rub down, fresh coat of paint, put your towels on there. Lovely. Get it? Nice? No? Yes?
Well, I think they look a bit dirty.
Oh, I like them.
I'm worried about if I, wipe my face with the flannel that I'd get cold
You
sores.
can wash them, you're allowed. Do you like them? I like them.
Well, I'm not too sure.
No?
So Mark spotted my star buy, but Charlotte wasn't too keen, which leaves it to Tara and Jonty to snap them up. But they're still browsing at the other end of the market.
Oh, there's interesting postcards there.
Yeah.
I used to catalogue postcards in a museum.
Did you?
Yeah, in Bexley museums and libraries. Should we go and have a look at some, see if there's anything interesting?
Yeah.
It's a 1914 card. Oh, it's actually got writing on the back as well. Wow.
Now, when you were cataloguing your postcards, what kind of categories were you putting them into?
Mostly we had collections that people donated from their travels abroad, so families would give us basically a whole collection of maybe 50 years worth of postcards that they sent back and forward to each other from trips down to Southend to out to Egypt and India. How saleable are items like this?
Well, as a general rule of thumb, and I'm talking really general, local postcards to this area will be more saleable here than they would back home.
So they have some relevance to the people,
Exactly,
otherwise you take that out of context, I suppose.
Yeah. You've got to take yourself back to your cataloguing days.
Yeah.
The reason why they were relevant to your local museum is because everyone had an association with them.
Yeah.
If you try and sold those cards over here, nobody would bat an eyelid. But most of these cards here are only saleable here.
Yeah. And there's lots of them. It'd take quite a long time to go through, so for us it's not really a good idea to go through all these today.
Great fun to look at, but I think it's time to move on.
Definitely.
We've got to make some money.
Yep.
But before you carry on spending, Jonty, Tara's got to compete for the bonus item.
Right, girls, we're halfway through the day, and now is your chance to win the best bargain of all. A completely free bonus item for your stand back home. But all you have to do to get it is to answer a very, very simple question. And when you sell it, that money will go towards your profit. And it could just tilt the balance between winning the game or losing it. So, this is it. Well, it's a typically French picture frame. All glass in the front, nicely beveled here, no chips, perfect condition. And the chrome here at the bottom and at the top tells us it's after 1920. Prior to that, they were very effusively decorated in bronze and gold, and this would have been much more embellished. So this also has a double action, if you like. It can either stand on the table like this or hang like this from here. Now, girls, the simple question is, how much did I pay for it? In pounds sterling. And Charlotte, I'm going to start with you. You have 2 seconds. I'm joking. 3.
I think you paid £20 for it.
£20? All right. Yep. Tara?
I think you paid £32.
32. That's very specific, wasn't it? You have won, Tara. Congratulations. I paid £40 for it. Ooh. The next time you see that will be on your stand back home.
Thank you.
Now, your experts are over there. They can't wait to see you. No doubt they've unearthed something. So you catch up with them and I'll see you later.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Charlotte and Tara have only 2 hours to go. While they catch up with their experts, let's see what they've bought so far. Tara and Jonty have spent £162 on 11 items. For my money, their best buy so far is those French linens. But they've also snapped up these bedside cabinets for £26 and splashed out £13 on this beautiful mirrored jewellery box. Charlotte and Mark have spent £178 on a lucky 13 items, including their free table football set. Charlotte must be charming those French stallholders as they got yet another free gift, this fantastic Victorian ball and string game. So whatever they sell it for will be pure profit. We'll be finding out later who'll be raking in the cash on their French finds when they have to sell the lot back at a UK antiques market. Charlotte and Tara will be selling at Grimthorpe Castle in Lincolnshire, a beautiful setting for a very popular market.
How many items exactly have you sold, Tara? Let's just go
It's
through
not so much
this
the
now.
items, it's the profit,
How many
the quality.
items have you sold?
Right, I've got a plan. I have a plan. Right,
Should we let it flat?
we'll let it flat.
But back in France, our teams need to spend their £350 on at least 10 items. So, how are they getting on?
That teapot, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Or-
big enamel teapot. This ring would
Yeah.
fit over there,
Wow.
come off, and that would keep it in together.
That's really nice. And is enamel, I mean, is that quite popular at the moment? or-
Enamel's good, and that's quite a good strong colour, dark green. Vert. Vert? Vert. 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 Vert.
And is it, I mean, there seems to be like a little bit of markings
Yeah, it's
and
probably
stuff.
about
Does that-
50 years old. 1950 approximate?
Before.
Yes, no.
I think before.
I think not.
I think.
1950s,
I am not
40s,
sure.
50s. No, OK.
Looks like Tara and Jonty have spotted my star buy.
What do you think? What do you think of those?
I've got some very nasty gloss paint on, but that's presuming there's some decent wood underneath. They're
Yeah.
probably.
Well, it's been painted over. You've
Yeah.
you've obviously got the original paintwork sort of underneath there. These are very Art Deco, 1930s. C'est combien, monsieur?
30 euros.
30.
Oui.
€30. Jonty's not impressed, and he's in bargaining mood today.
Will you take 25?
25.
25, oui.
OK.
That's about £17, £17.50. I think that's a real steal because you've got a pair, and a pair is always worth more than one.
That's a good price for my star buy, £17.50 for the pair of towel rails. But are Charlotte and Mark lifting the lid on any more bargains?
And what about this thing? Because I quite
That's
like
quite nice,
this.
isn't it?
Yeah.
A little cover, so you can put soup in it, I would say, or something like that. Cover it up. Probably for the workman, he would take it with him.
Yes.
Dirty job like road work or whatever. Cover it up, stop the muck getting in, like a builder perhaps.
So, I mean, do you think we could, could we sell those in England, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's got original labour on it, which
Yeah.
is coming off, which is a shame because that's really nice.
Yeah.
Shows it's French.
Yeah.
That's a good colour. That's quite unusual.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not worth a fortune, but
Yeah.
should be good. 8 or 10 quid. That should be 10, 15
Right,
pounds, something
brilliant.
like that. Combien
Perfect.
de deux, madame, s'il vous plaît?
For you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Le bon prix pour moi, s'il vous plaît.
It's the best price.
Oui. What is? How much?
10.
10 euro. It's about 7 quid. Get your money out and pay quickly.
£7. That's a great price for the enamel kettle and builder's mug. Charm will get you everywhere, Mark.
Okay,
Only
perfect.
for you. Sure. No,
It's not my wife.
You can have him.
I love you.
Back in Grenoble, I'm seeking out the perfect price for our winning contestant, here in the Antiques Quarter, centred around Rue Voltaire. There's plenty here, whether for the holiday browser or serious collector. I know that both Charlotte and Tara wear lovely perfumes, so this little item is a close contender for today's prize because it's a perfume bottle. Originally, it would have belonged to a set comprising quite a number of pieces and would have lived on the dressing table. Well, let's have a look at it. It's French, it's dated about 1870, and it's got this lovely glaze here with hand-painted flowers, and if we look underneath, it's unglazed. Now, that shouldn't put us off at all. It's what we call bisque, in other words, biscuit. Now, the gilding here sparkles. It shines like real gold, which is exactly what we look for in a quality piece of porcelain. So altogether, a very nice little piece. And yes, I think this is today's prize. Back at the market, I hope our teams are splashing the cash because there's only 1 hour left. So a bit less looking and a bit more buying, please, Charlotte and Mark. And how are Tara and Jonty getting on with spending their money? They're taking stock.
Time's running out and I ran off and left you. What do you think of what I got?
I'm a bit cagey about my reaction on this one.
I think it's really unusual. It's very beautifully decorative.
So that's about 13, 14 pounds.
Yeah, and I don't think you find that many places, and you certainly wouldn't find that many places back in England.
Well, I hope we're going to be lucky on this one. What else have you got there in your hand?
I got
there?
some football players, which I picked up for €3 for 4 of these.
€3. I've left you for 5 minutes. You bring back tut.
That's not tut.
Now, what have we got left in the kitty?
We've got €1.
€1?
€1, and that's it.
Oh, I'm sure we must do the last good deal of the day.
Got to spend all my money.
Okay, come on, let's go and
Okay.
spend that last euro.
So that euro Tara and Jonty saved earlier on the mussel shell is all theirs to spend. But they'd better hurry up as people are starting to pack up. But it's bargain ahoy for Mark.
Now, let me show you
Is that-
something. Look, on there, that's called a broadhead arrow. So it's like a point with a line going through the centre.
Right.
What that depicts, or what that means, is that was issued to the forces.
Right.
And it was made in London
Yeah.
by Broadhurst and Clarkson.
Yeah.
Fairly good company. It's got part of a date there where you can't make it out.
Yeah.
But the broadhead arrow, which is the V with the
Yeah.
line going through it, has got a 1 above it. That means it was issued during the First World War.
Wow.
So it would be 1914 to 1918.
Okay.
That was the time to be issued to one of our soldiers.
And so would it be for sea or would it be for land?
Probably,
would it
yeah,
be
probably
soldiers?
for a boat. Probably for a boat, yeah.
Right, for a boat.
So the scratches, see all
Yeah.
these scratches?
Yeah.
This would have had leather glued onto it.
Right, okay.
So that would have been the leather bit you held, and you would have just adjusted it like so. I can't see anything in it at all.
Does that mean you can't see what the competition's up to? They're still in search for that elusive €1 item.
We haven't done this table over here, have we?
Haven't we? So something over there, is there?
But I don't think they'll find much in there.
Yeah.
Mark is very focused on getting the best price for the First World War telescope and this fishing bait box he's just spotted.
He wants €100 for it. It's about 60 quid. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think we should get it. I think we should get rid of the last bit of cash.
Only one problem, sweetie.
Yep. How much we got left?
We have €90.
And how much do you want?
Well, that's 20 and that's 100. It's 120. This is where you have to do your magic.
Right.
Call him
okay.
over and beg.
Monsieur.
Je voudrais ça and ça. All we have, and this is our money, is finished.
I've got.
They've only got €90 left, but will he take it?
No more money.
90.
That's a great deal. The telescope and the fishing bait box for £60. And that's Charlotte and Mark spent up. But what about Tara's last euro?
So, Jonty, I've got €1.
Burning a huge hole in our pockets.
What am I going to buy?
That hat rack there is marked at €3. If you beg the lady who owns that stall over there,
Oh, madame.
she might take €1 for it.
€1 pour...
Celui-là,
Oui?
€1,50.
No, €1. We only have one left.
Bon, allez, c'est bon, ok.
merci.
It looks like Jonty's thriftiness has paid off. The euro he saved earlier on the shell tray has turned into the lucky euro. It's paid for another whole item for Tara's stall. Let's hope it brings in the profits back in the UK. And time's up. The teams have had just one day to spend £350 on at least 10 collectible items to sell on at an antiques market in the UK. Tara and Jonty have bought a total of 26 items, including these 3 decorative plates for £35, which I think will sell well back in the UK. But I'm not quite so sure about those plastic football players. Still, I may be proved wrong. Let's see if they score at the UK market. Charlotte and Mark have bought a total of 31 items with their £350. They found themselves a second marble-topped bedside cabinet for £20. I can definitely see a profit in that. There's also a bit of an enamelware theme emerging. They've spent £41 on a total of 6 colourful jugs and pitchers. So let's hope there are some French Kitchenalia fans eager to buy. Tara, hello.
Hi.
Have you any energy left at the end of today?
Yeah, quite a lot. I'm very excited about all my bargains.
Oh, excellent. What's your favourite bargain?
I definitely think it has to be this beautiful jewellery box.
Oh,
glass
yes,
jewellery box, and
right.
my linen tablecloth.
You just love your linen,
I
don't
do,
you?
yes.
And these gloves?
Yep.
Very smart
Little
indeed.
lace gloves.
No one will ever wear them, but they look absolutely lovely. Jonty, what's going to make you the most money?
Well, I think these bedside tables were an absolute bargain at £30. So
For the two of them?
yeah, we can sell them. I can see double our money, not a problem. £60 without any problem at all.
You two look very happy indeed, and so you should be. Charlotte and Mark, hello.
Hello.
Is that football game still your favourite thing, Charlotte?
Definitely one of them. We got that free, and we also got that free as well.
Oh, really? Well, it's your looks and his charm, or his charm and your looks, I don't know what. But I don't know how you manage it. But, Mark, what's going to make you really rich when you get back home?
I think this little cupboard's rather good. It's nice. Someone's going to buy that, paint it probably. It's a really nice thing.
Very saleable indeed. This is quite good too.
This, I think, may be our little secret weapon that might be able to see off the opposition.
Oh, he just
John.
can't help it. Well, the next time you see everything here, we'll be back in the UK. See you there. Well, we've finished gallivanting around Grenoble, and here we are at glamorous Grimsthorpe Castle in Lincolnshire. The antiques market here has been in existence for over 10 years, and over this weekend alone, they're expecting over 4,000 potential buyers. So let's hope that Charlotte and Tara will find enough buyers for their French finds, because they have just one day to sell the lot. But here's their motivation. Today's prize, this very elegant French perfume bottle I picked up in Grenoble. So let's see if our teachers can teach us a few things at today's market.
Charlotte and Tara are busy setting out their French wares and getting their sales hats on to battle for the biggest profits. We'll be finding out the winner at the end of the day, but before that, our experts are on hand to dress the stalls for maximum profits.
I like it's departmentalised with the enamel there. We can lose the coffee cup, I think, put it on our stall. A lot of people won't know what this is.
Right.
So when they come along, show them.
Okay.
And also, with this telescope, I mean...
Do you think I should have it right at the front?
We should have it opened out, actually.
Okay,
because that will look great. That really looks good.
There's a bit
we'll
more
have that
room
laid
for
out
it.
at the front. That looks stunning, look at that.
Good advice, Mark, but Tara's making her first sale already.
We agreed that sale. It was £15.
Yeah, no discount.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're making sales already?
Yep, I've sold something. I've sold one of the bowls. Remember, we got it was about
three of them,
55
weren't they?
euros, wasn't it? And I've sold one for £15 already.
Now's the time, when we're unpacking, now's the time that people, especially the dealers, want to sort of come and see what you've got.
Yeah.
So it's really important to check all your prices, all right? So as you're unpacking it, you know exactly what you're selling things for. And I've noticed you've marked things down here. Now, as a bit of a rule of thumb, if you can, just mark everything up by 100%.
Take any profits you're offered early doors, always take their profits, because as the day goes on, it might rain, it might get quieter, people stop for lunch and then they don't really in the mood, they're not really in the mood for buying after lunch. Take as much money first thing as possible.
Brilliant,
all right, I'll go and get you a cuppa.
See you later.
Charlotte's doing all right on her own. She's got some interest in one of her marble-topped cabinets already.
Would you take 40 for that?
I'd take 45.
Right, okay.
And Charlotte only paid £20 for that cabinet in France, so she's made a huge £25 profit. A great start to the day.
Reserve it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, brilliant.
And when you've got a buyer, don't let them leave. See what else you can tempt them with.
Where's my bait box? I mean, my foot warmer. This is lovely.
Oh, yeah.
How much is that?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do
And the
that and
ladies
that
bought-
for 30.
I know. I really don't want to pay much more than 10 for that. I mean, I'm
I can
obviously...
do 12, it costs 10, I need to make a
10,
profit.
right. Okay, 12. So I will give you 25 for the two.
Make 27, we've got a deal.
Looks like our buyer's holding out for her price.
Oh, come on, give us your money.
That's another deal nailed by Charlotte and Mark. £25 for the foot warmer and hat rack. Not content with buying up Charlotte's stall, our favourite buyer has moved over to see what Tara's got to offer.
Oh, well, you give me a price and we'll...
What about 18?
Ooh, no, a bit too low.
Oh, well, 20 then.
Yeah, it's a deal. Yeah, 20 quid.
That'll feather Tara's nest nicely, a £7 profit on the birdcage. But has someone spotted a bargain on Charlotte's table?
Aye, Captain.
How much is it?
75 would be my best price on it. I'm not going to go any lower than that.
There's no case with it, no.
No case of it.
I think it's.
So, I mean, you probably know more about them than obviously I do,
It's a
because I
signal
know.
telescope.
It's a signal telescope.
1917.
And so, what would that mean? That would mean that you.
They'd be looking through it for people signalling to with flags
right.
or with lights. Just think what it's seen, that telescope, eh?
I know.
The
And
death
it's
and
shocking, isn't
destruction.
it? I know, it's quite.
I'll have a think about that. It's nice, but it'd be better with the case.
Looks like our expert bargain spotter is leaving the telescope for now. Let's hope he comes back. This enthusiast is wasting no time having a look at Charlotte's long case clock. Seems like he's a bit of a collector.
This man has the piece that goes.
No, really? I've just brought one back from France.
Yeah.
Ours came off the top of the car, but it's still in one piece.
Fantastic. Isn't it?
It looks like this did fall off the top of the car.
No, it's what we call early kit form.
I've never seen Mark work so hard on a sale, building a kit-form clock from scratch. If this doesn't end up selling it, nothing will.
There we are, how's that?
And then we've got two sides.
On the next stall, Jonty's undertaking some serious salesmanship himself.
So we've got a deal, £52 on this.
Yep, that's great.
That is a real bargain. That is a real bargain.
I'm really pleased.
Now, can I interest you in a pair of bedside tables here? These are dirt cheap. These are £50 for the pair. I mean, when can you ever buy a pair of bedside tables at £50?
No, but the thing is, I need them to go with mahogany. They're completely wrong wood at the
Well,
minute.
what you'd have to do is strip that surface off, because I agree it has a relatively new sort of feel to it. You could strip all that off and stain it.
Right.
And it would be worth your while doing that, because they're 25 quid each, for goodness sake.
And is that quite easy to do that?
Yes, it's something you can do. There's a bit of labour involved, but it's certainly
Right.
something that you can do individually rather than take it to restorers.
That sales pitch earned Tara £25 profit. But how's Mark getting on assembling his long case clock?
No, it's too high.
Right, I've got a plan. I have a plan. Right,
Should we let it flat?
we'll let it flat. Well done, boys. Good teamwork. You've done a great job. All we've got to do now is get your dad to buy it. Well, Colin, what do you think of that then?
Very interesting.
But if you look at the detail, it's been scumbled. This is called scumble glaze. So it's just a pine base, and they put this sort of dark stuff on it to make it look more like a walnut or some more expensive timber. And down the bottom there's actually some flowers there that are nicely put on there. You'd probably clean that back. I can see this in your mansion. Come on, help.
But no movement.
No, afraid not, but it's very cheap.
At
50 quid.
it's going down.
But what about the towel rail? Because that's quite interesting.
Isn't that lovely? That's 19th century French with something like
nice.
that.
It's been beautifully turned, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the wood looks so good. Such
It's
good
lovely.
quality wood.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now you can have that for 25 quid. I've bought those for over £40 in France before.
You won't take any less than that?
But I don't think we can go any lower than £25 because I think we're being pretty competitive, don't you, so far?
We're trying to be generous to you, madam.
We had to make a small profit.
Yes. Okay. Actually, that looked quite nice in one of our bathrooms. So yeah, okay, I'll take it at 25.
Brilliant. So you're going to take towel rail,
Towel rail.
cabinet,
And
and
the
the two bedside tables.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so
All right.
that's £127, please.
Blimey.
What a cracker of a sale for Tara and Jonty. At £127 for the 3 cabinets and towel rail, they've racked up a profit of £52. But will Mark and Charlotte sell their kit-form long case clock?
So come on then. What's the word? Yay or nay? Are you going to upset these boys? I can see them filling up. They're going to cry their eyes out if you don't buy it. Can you actually do anything with this? Could you repair it?
Yeah, I think something could be done to it. Back to its former glory.
Yeah.
What should we do?
I think you should buy it.
Yeah, go on then.
What a gentleman. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, lads. Well done.
Finally, once Mark got the kids on board, it was a done deal. The long case clock sells for a whopping £27 profit. A As time marches on at Grimsthorpe Castle, the buyers are out in force. And our girls are starting to get competitive.
All right, let's just work this out. How many items exactly have you sold, Tara? Let's just go
It's
through
not so much
this
the
now.
items, it's the profit,
How many
the
items
quality.
have you sold now?
Okay, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, we're on a par then. I've sold 8 as well.
So they're even Stevens on the sales, but who's getting the biggest profits? Time will tell. This young man has spotted Charlotte's Victorian ball on a string game. And it's harder than it looks. Time's moving on, and Charlotte and Mark are doing some strategic pricing on their potty cabinet.
30. 30 quid, that gives us a small loss.
That gives us a loss.
30. Go on then,
Yeah.
sold.
Sold. To the gentleman in the white t-shirt.
She's looking for a new boyfriend. I'll leave you to it.
Can you understand why I don't have one?
It's sold for £30, a slight loss, but the market's thinning out and it's time to make sure you get those sales for a reasonable price.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Proof that the youth of today aren't just interested in video games. And some entertainment for the girls.
Nearly. Oh! You're not bad at it, you know. Oh! Yes! Well done. Hooray! Don't want to buy it then. It's £2 for you.
Get it off my table.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. £2. You're going to have that?
Okay.
That is, do you know, that's a Victorian toy. And you've got to look after that. And you've got to see how...
This selling lark is child's play for Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
And that's one happy customer.
Someone so brilliant at it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tara's got some interest in her bonus item, the glass picture frame. Having won it back in France, that £22 she's made is pure profit.
Nice picture of the wife in this now, be away.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See ya.
The best things in life are free, like Charlotte's table football, thrown in as a gift with a potty cabinet in France. And she's scored! £10 profit, perhaps putting her in the lead. Earlier, Tara sold her large black mirror for £20, and now it's being picked up in style. And Charlotte and Tara must continue driving a hard bargain, because the afternoon is slipping away.
Hello, teams.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. How are you getting on?
Yeah,
All right?
fine.
Good.
It's a sweltering hot day, so I suppose the stock's been moving like hotcakes, has it, Tara?
Well, yes, some has, but surprisingly, some haven't. I've had to sell some things at a loss.
You know, I can't believe that these towel rails haven't sold.
That's outrageous. Look, they're a pair. They're perfectly priced. Obviously, nobody with taste has come along yet.
Yeah, I see. Well, someone with taste might just come along. Talking of taste, how are you, Charlotte?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much, Chris.
Now, over in France, you were doing some really hard haggling, so has that been coming back to you today?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of haggling today, so I'm pleased with that.
Good. Mark, are you happy?
I'm ecstatic. This lady knows how to sell. I'll tell you what, I might even give her a job. She's been in her element today.
Yes, I can see she has. Now, listen, teams, you've both got quite a fair bit left, so you better think of a strategy because you've only got 1 hour left. I'll catch up with you later.
See you later.
With just 1 hour left to go, Charlotte's wasting no time suggesting possible uses for the enamel pitcher.
Flowers in it. Lovely, tall, long
Toilet
stem.
brush. You could store
Toilet
your
brush.
loo brush in there.
Charlotte's sales pitch has convinced our buyers. Hand over your tenner, that's a 4p profit on the enamel jug. Every little counts. Tara's got some interest in her Star Buy towel rails, but she won't sell them without her lucky Euro coat rack, which she bought with her last Euro in France.
Just for £1, it would be brilliant. I sold.
It may be a £7 loss, but at least it's money in the belt.
Happy towel hanging. Muscle.
Jonty's French bargaining triumph has finally got some attention, but it sold for a loss of £1. Despite the early interest in Charlotte's telescope, it hasn't sold yet, Could this be the lucky buyer?
Young lady, I see you looking at our stall. What can we interest you in?
I'm interested in the telescope. What price have you got on that?
Oh, I'm not going to go lower than £50.
50 quid, that gives us a couple of pound profit.
40?
No. There's an American man, he wants to buy it, and I'm holding out. Maybe
I'll meet you in the middle, 45.
Go on then.
45 quid. Oh. Right, OK, well, you got yourself a bargain there.
She certainly did. That's a £1 loss, but it could have been worse.
So it's real bargain based.
Can Tara even up the scores with her next sale?
£3, that includes the football players.
So that's the mirror,
Go on.
and the 4 footballers, and the jar.
Please.
Yeah, OK, it's a deal. It's a deal.
Yes! Thank you very much.
Tara sold all her last items in one go, including the football players. Jonty never thought she'd sell those. And Charlotte's made her last sale too, those rickety garden chairs. Tara's not slow to take the mickey on that one.
£3 for the lot. The last 3 anyway.
They were robbed.
Well done, teams. You've sold out and time's up. All the other dealers are going home with most of our stock. So let's see what Charlotte and Tara made and lost their money on. Tara and Jonty's most profitable item was a pair of bedside tables, which they sold for £25 profit. But they also made £19 on their marble-topped cabinet. They took a few minor hits on some of their cheaper items, but most disappointing was some of the china, like the Mallorca-style plates, which went for just £2, a loss of £11. Charlotte and Mark's best profit was £37 on the kit-form clock. They made narrow profits on most items, including their enamelware, and made some money on their freebies too. £10 for the football table and £2 for the Victorian toy. In fact, there wasn't much they didn't at least break even on, apart from the bamboo frame, which knocked them back a £5. But what we want to know is who's made the most money back from their original budget of £350. Well done, teams. Clear tables. Fantastic. Tara, did you have fun selling today?
I had a great time, yeah, it was really good fun. It was
I
really
could
good
tell.
negotiating with people, that was the best bit.
What was the best thing you sold, though?
The football players.
Yes!
Thank you.
Excellent.
I sold them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Albeit I lost a bit of money on them.
Yeah.
A
£1.
Yeah.
But Jonty, what made you the most money?
Well, we struck gold when we had a lady that was refurbishing, and she bought all our furniture, basically, all in one big hit.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Well
very cool.
done, you. And Charlotte, you
Hello.
look like you've been smiling all day today. What was your best moment?
I think it was the making of the grandfather clock.
Oh, yes.
And then the family buying it, which is really nice, and the dad's going to restore it, so I think that was really, really nice.
Great, because the children bought quite a bit as well, didn't they?
Well, another family bought the table football, which I was really pleased about, so I made £10 on that, and bearing in mind we got it free with the other objects, it was really good.
That's right. Well done. You look very happy about that. And Mark, it was a good fair, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a great fair. I mean, the ladies done really well. I think they had good fun today. Sometimes I thought we were selling fruit and veg, but you enjoyed yourself, didn't you?
Well, teams, the moment you've been waiting for. Who is going to be today's winner? Well, Tara and Jonty, from the £350 I gave you in France, you have made £320 and 50 pence. A slight loss, but still we're over the 300 mark. And Charlotte and Mark, you have taken £355, 20 pence. That makes you, Charlotte, the winner of today's prize.
Wow.
This French perfume bottle. 19th century, congratulations.
Thank you very
Congratulations, both teams. Thank you very much for joining us, and catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.